Morning boys, Mr. Ford here again. Today's workout is going to focus on the shoulders. So going to give you 5 exercises. Going to vary the number of repetitions and sets in each exercise and show you ways in which you can make them a little bit more challenging. So the first exercise is called a pike press up. So a bit different to a normal press up. This time what you're going to do is you're going to put your hands down a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Go into the normal press up position, but then you're going to bring your feet a little bit closer to your hands. Okay, now actually, the closer you get your feet to your hands, the more difficult it is. I can't really go much closer than that, but then you're going to go down and up, down and up. So you keep the feet and the feet still, the legs straight. Down, forehead touches the ground. And back up, okay? So those are quite tough. They're working the front of the shoulders, what's called the anterior deltoid, so this front part of the shoulder area. And you might only be able to do maybe 5 repetitions of those. I suggest maybe doing 2 or 3 sets. Now you can even make those slightly more difficult by raising the feet and elevating the feet. So I'm going to put my feet up here on a sofa. You could use a chair, a box or something that raises your feet above your hands, and same again, down, forehead touches the ground and back up, forehead touches the ground, back up. So it's only your arms that are flexing and extending, no other part of the body should move. The higher the feet, the more difficult the exercise. So that's exercise 1. Now second exercise, again because we're around the home, we don't have much equipment or anything that we can really use to create resistance. What we're going to do now is we're going to do an exercise that works the rear deltoid, so the back of the shoulders. Now this one, not one I've done before previously, but what you need to do with this is to get your body into a position almost like a plank position, but your chest is facing up and you're facing the ceiling. And what you're going to then do from this position is you're going to bend your knees, flex your knees, and then straighten. So flex the knees and straighten. Now this is actually working the shoulders, okay, because I'm putting a little bit more tension now on my shoulders and back. In this position, the shoulders are working, particularly the back, the rear of the shoulders, and there. To make it slightly more challenging, wider with the hands. So again, I'm on my heels, body straight, looking upwards, bend at the knees, and back up. Flex at the knees, and back up. And as I say, I haven't done that exercise before, but I can feel already that even with only 4 or 5 repetitions, that is working my shoulders quite hard. Make it more challenging, as I say, by adding the number of repetitions, doing perhaps 2 or 3 sets, groups of repetitions. Okay, the next exercise, we're going to use bottles to act as resistance. Okay, so we've used these before when we were doing the arms exercise. These can mimic dumbbells and they can create, as I say, a little bit more resistance when we don't have gym equipment to hand. So these are going to be front raises. Okay, so feet just a little bit narrower than shoulder width apart, chest out, shoulders up, and you're just going to bring the bottles up to about eye level. If you wish to, you can bring both bottles up at the same time and down, both up at the same time and down. And in previous workouts we talked about that phrase time under tension. If you wanted to do super slow and hold the bottle and bring it down, you're actually engaging and working the front of those shoulders a little bit more, a little bit longer, so you don't have to do as many repetitions, but you're engaging the muscles for the same amount of time. So those are front raises. Now keeping the dumbbells, or the bottles, sorry, in your hands, you can now do lateral raises, which means out to the side. Okay. So this is working now what's called the medial deltoid, the middle part. So we've worked the front, the back, now working the middle part of the deltoid. Okay. So again, if you wanted to, you could do both arms together here, okay, and down. But essentially, you're trying to control the movement, just so bottles go up to about eye level again, okay. Okay. One last exercise we're going to do, actually we're going to keep the bottles for this one. Okay, so this time we're going to do a shoulder press. We're actually going to sit on the ground for this. Now you might want to do this sitting in a chair. Okay, we're going to sit on the ground for this, and now we're going to have feet flat on the floor. If you want, you can have the toes just slightly raised. And now you're just going to press. It's going to be an overhead press. Okay, so as if you were in the gym, using dumbbells or using a barbell. We talked before about breathing out when you're exerting, when you're in the main movement of the lift. In on the way back down. Breathe out on the way up, in on the way down. One more. And relax. Okay, important to try and keep your back straight there. We haven't got anything to lean on here. If you were using a chair, you might want